everyone, and welcome back to another Moons Media moment. This one is a special one as I have my first ever guest star on one of these series. I have Star Strikes.
Hello!
Woo. Star Strikes specializes, his entire channel is based off of My Little Pony. So, he made me watch the Gen 5 movie, even though I had never watched My Little Pony ever before. And now we are going to be talking about it by sharing 5 things we believe the My Little Pony Gen 5 movie did wrong with fan service. That's right, this is a negative video. And I guess without further ado, let's get into some points. Alright, so point 1 was, so fan service should generally remain unnoticed by new viewers. I noticed the fan service, and I had seen nothing of Gen 4, and I was like, oh, that's fan service, isn't it? Mostly with, like, the little action figures in the beginning and stuff like that.
Yeah, while there was a lot of fan service in the movie, the majority of it was really in the background and stuff that a newer viewer wouldn't catch. For example, the elevator that Zip takes Sunny and Izzy down to the station. That elevator is the basket of Twilight's balloon.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that, and therefore it was good fan service. Unlike, say, the action figures or, I don't know, some of the comments they made where I feel like I'm missing something here. Like, there was a lot of jokes that were made where I'm like, I feel like I should get that joke, but I don't, and that probably means it was a Gen 4 reference. And I could see, here's the thing, I'm assuming it's a Gen 4 thing, simply because I don't know if it is or not. Like, I don't know what it's from. Like, I feel like there's something I'm missing, and obviously I'm not gonna know what it's missing because I'm missing it. That probably made no sense.
It mostly made sense.
Okay, good. Alright, let's move on to point number 2, which is we don't need much fan service. Like, we don't need to be overwhelmed by it. I, again, missed most of it, so I personally didn't feel terribly overwhelmed. I knew there was a lot of stuff in the background, and I was just like, well, that's just filler. But apparently, it was a lot of just references.
Yeah, for example, you can see in the background Rogar's bell in Sunny's house behind Argyle as he's working. You can see a picture of Twilight, one of Twilight's feathers. A picture of the Memory Stone from the Equestria Girls series. So a lot of stuff like that that's in the background, which I will say I am okay with all of this stuff being in the background. A lot of fan service, if it's in the background like that, is okay, and I don't think it's overwhelming. My problem was that I felt underwhelmed in its utilization. It should have it contributed more to the plot. And that brings us into our next point. It should actually contribute to the story. If it doesn't contribute to the story, then it's just sort of there, and it feels like the writers are saying, hey, look at this thing. You recognize this thing, right? Right? You know what this is. Does this automatically make the movie better? Huh?
So a big example of this would be with the action figures and stuff. So for some reason, my first thought was when I was watching the movie was that this new gang was actually really inspired by Gen 4. Like, Gen 5 was highly influenced by Gen 4, and it was their motivation. That was until we actually started talking about, and Star Strikes pointed out to me that actually they never make any reference to them, except for, like, in the beginning of the movie. And then I'm just sitting there like, wait, they didn't? I feel like that should have been a thing, like that Gen 4 was their inspiration. And it's why they're working so hard to, like, unify everyone, because they know that it was, once upon a time, it was that way, and they want it to be that way again, and they want to be like Gen 4, like, they're role models. But apparently that wasn't a thing, and I guess it was just a thing I made up, because my brain said it would make the movie better, and therefore my brain was pre-making the movie better but while watching it. So.
Yeah. There are only 2 characters in the movie with that position, which are Sunny and Argyle, but Argyle dies within the first 5 minutes of the movie, so he doesn't really count. And then there's Sunny, who does take inspiration from the main 6 to go and spread the message of friendship across Equestria, but no one else knows who the main six are. The most Zip knows more than anyone else aside from Sunny, and all she knows is that Ponykinds used to be friends from the stuff she found in the station, and that there is a star. Don't know, she doesn't know anything about the star, she just knows it's a star on the window. Also fan service.
Which I didn't realize was fan service. Although that was probably an example where I felt like I was missing something, where they were like, they made this big deal of the window, and I'm like, I don't know. Or the whole crown thing. Was the crown thing something from Gen 4?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Because I'm saying there, like, I feel like that's from something, and I'm clueless.
Now, there was plenty of stuff to do with crowns and things in Gen 4, but not this one.
That felt like it should have been fan service and wasn't. I'm just saying,
what they should have done was make Queen Haven's crown Twilight's crown from G4, just with a different jewel on it.
Yeah, because I sat there the whole... I'm telling you, I watched the entire movie thinking that that crown was from Gen 4, and that was, like, magical and it had a purpose, and I was just missing it because I'd never seen it.
Nope, and the crystals weren't in Gen 4 either. Nobody knows what these crystals are. I have an entire theory video dedicated to exploring these crystals.
Anyways, we're going to move on to point number 4, which is that you just shouldn't rely purely on fan service. This movie was very heavy in it, and despite doing it badly, and me being confused and thinking things were fan service when they weren't, and then things being fan service that I didn't realize was, they were still relying a lot on the hype of Gen 4 to get people to watch Gen 5.
Yes, I think that the reason this movie had such high budget, I'm not sure what the budget was exactly, but I can tell that they threw a lot of money at it to get the animation quality they got and the voice acting quality that they had. Clearly, they put a lot of money into it, and they were clearly relying on older fans to come back to give them a boost in viewership. If it weren't for them relying on relying on older fans to come in, I'm highly doubtful that the movie would not have had as high a production value and quality.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is supposed to be it should be able to stand on its own more than I feel like it does. Like I watched that entire movie feeling like, for one, that it wasn't for me, and for two, it wasn't for new viewers. I felt like I didn't belong in that world. Like, this was not a good entry point for me. And a start of a new generation should be an entry point for new viewers. And I did not get that feeling from this movie, which means they probably relied on Gen 4 way too much for it.
Yeah, going and looking at the name real quick, it is titled A New Generation, implying it's, a new generation, new characters, and you would expect the world to be somewhat recognizable, but has changed drastically. Which, there are some points that have changed, but at the same time, G4 did a fantastic job, even at the very first episode, making the world feel massive, and like there was so much to explore. And even by the end of the series, you know that there's a lot more to the world that hasn't been explored. G5 looked at this and said, we are going to explore 3 points in 3 locations in this entire world, and that's it. And now the world feels very small, and it feels like just a small snippet of the previous generation rather than being a new generation.
Also, they didn't explain things to me well, like the magic system, the history of the... Like, I felt like...
The magic system is broken. They destroyed the magic system.
Okay, we're not gonna start on that rant. But anyways, I feel like walked in there and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm missing a lot of lore and backstory and stuff. Way too much to be enjoying this movie. Like, I didn't understand how unicorns and Pegasus and Earth ponies were different. I didn't get that. I didn't understand what even their magic powers were, like what each group could do. Like, I was very confused if they could do anything at all, or like none of that was explained. Like, I didn't feel the loss of magic because I didn't know what type of magic they were supposed to have in the first place.
I think it's that Argyle's little exposition dump at the beginning of the movie talking about how unicorns filled the sky with light shows and Pegasus would fly around. That didn't do it for you?
No, I feel like I needed a better backstory. I almost feel like I needed a Gen 4 history lesson to watch this movie, and I shouldn't need that. I should be okay not. I shouldn't need to watch past series in order to enjoy a new series. So the last point is that you shouldn't undermine past series. You shouldn't devalue. I guess devalue would be a better word there. Don't devalue the past series. Like, it's all on this point of, like, you should be able to stand on your own. At the same time, if you can't stand on your own and you're going to rely on the past ones, don't drag them down into the pit with you. Okay? Just, that's mean.
What this movie did was it took the ending of G4, which had ended with Twilight and her friends had established peace across Equestria and the neighboring kingdoms, and we get a flash forward into the future decades later showing that this isn't the end of their story. This is the final episode, but this isn't the end of the story. They continue to go on adventures. They will continue to spread friendship. Everything, basically, they're saying it's all uphill from here. However, there will still be trials and tribulations that come, but together we will face them and we will overcome them. And so you're thinking, at least for Twilight's rule, Equestria is well off. And this movie suggests that Equestria crumbled under Twilight's rule. So it's basically like you're handing someone a cookie. And then they say, oh boy, this is a nice cookie. They take a bite out of it, and then you say, okay, no more cookie for you, and you take it and you throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, I don't know much about Gen 4, but I know it was like this epic series with a lot of build-up and a lot happening, and that it ended well, apparently. And the idea that this new series comes in and instantly just says, actually, that's not what happened, just isn't a good thing. Also, we made a point of magic system being destroyed in this movie. That's not good. If you're gonna stick in the same world of a series, you gotta stick with the same laws and rules and stuff as well, okay? Things like that. You don't undermine the past series, because it's just not gonna end well for you, and people will get upset. So yeah, that's 5 things that My Little Pony Gen 5 did wrong with fan service. Now it's your viewers' turn to give us your opinion in the comment section. Let's try to be positive. Tell me some things that they did good with fan service and positive things. And unless you really want to be negative, in which case go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna stop you. I can't tell you what to do. But for now, that is all the time we have for today. I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Also, don't forget to check out the video me and Isaac did on his channel, on Starstrike's channel. That will be linked in the description, as well as his channel link and our podcast. If you like us two talking to each other, then you'll love our podcast we do, which is a weekly us sit down and talk, and we talk about world building and building worlds, and they're ridiculous and hilarious, or really serious, confusing, and mind-bending. There is no in-between with us. Bye, guys!
Subscribe!